Short trying to take it away from him. I talked with Andrew earlier today. Here he comes, trying to get to the outside. Makes the double and takes the spot away, so move Andrew up into 9th. He said, I've spent so much time working with my new trainer, and that it's really made a difference on me mentally, and a lot of that came to racing here in the mud tonight. He said, normally I'd come to one of these mud races and I'd just be out of it, as we see Nick Way coming inside of Vonnie as well, and that'll move him up a position into 10th.
Well, and you might think with Andrew Short that having to go through the LCQ and then just passing for 9th place here in the main is an off night, which it is, but without that sort of mental strength and that sort of, attention that he's paying to that racer, to his racing, on a night like tonight, it might be even worse. He might not have even made the main.
That new trainer, by the way, Jeff Spencer, who also works with Kevin Windham. And there you see Reed getting by Josh Grant. And that'll move him up to 2nd. And that'll, oh boy, look at Grant trying to jump back past by him.
Well, Reed made a huge mistake there, and Grant had to jump to the left, and he's so fortunate that he kept it inside the tough blocks and on 2 wheels. But look at Chad Reed. He was dead last going down the start straight. There was nobody behind him. Owen Grant went down at the top of your screen.
He sure did, and now you see the points have changed again. Reed back in front of the points. 3 between him and Stewart. So Stewart will continue to chip away at it. But Reed had lost it earlier tonight and gains it back. He is just relentless, isn't he?
Yeah, and notice the points as they run. You did not see Filippoto. Devastating not making it out of that LCQ.
Crashing in the LCQ. And everybody chasing this guy once again. James Stewart, so incredibly impressive. Stewart on his way to another victory here tonight. It's Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship working its way to the halfway point here in Anaheim. Here at Angel Stadium as he chases maybe another victory here tonight. He won earlier this year at Phoenix, won at Anaheim 2, won in Houston, won at San Francisco. He's on a streak going for 5 in a row.
And James Stewart just lapping 10th place, which was Nick Way, got a 10-second lead over 2nd at the 10th lap.
At the halfway point, Stewart putting on another James Stewart-esque performance, which if you've been watching Supercross for any period of time, when Stewart gets going, boy, is he devastating.
He definitely is, and this track here tonight, which was so difficult and it was so risky, some of the rhythm sections, which you had to learn quickly, this is where James Stewart just has excelled. His talent on a motorcycle and his ability to jump those rhythm sections and how he sees the track, how he trusts his skills, he has confidence in himself. I mean, we're halfway through this race and he's already worked his way into the top 10, lapping into the top 10.
Tedesco and Millsaps, that battle now heating up as Tedesco has gotten away from Windham. He is now up to 3rd as he has gotten around Millsaps, and what a great ride for Ivan Tedesco. This would be his season best finish. His best so far was a 4th place effort at Phoenix.
Well, Ivan Tedesco had some phenomenal races here some years ago when he was a lights champion. And I'm sure that got his mojo working, and it's got to be a great feeling here because since he stepped up to the big bike class, he's had some rough rides, but 2009, he has really been dialed in. He's been smoother. I've noticed with his technique has smoothed out a lot. His riding style, and his starts have been great.
This would be a season best finish for Millsaps too. Remember, he had that just a week ago in San Francisco where he finished 8th. Bettering that by at least 4 positions right now as he sits in 4th.
And that's got to be frustrating if you won a main event, but yet to date, your best finish has been an 8th. That's been a pretty frustrating season so far for Millsaps.
Well, it might be a podium finish here tonight because he's not done battling with Tedesco. These two still going at it.
you can see as they go down this rhythm section how they all just funnel right into one line here. Millsaps wanted the triple there, but Tedesco was right in the line. He made a couple of mistakes going through there. You see, typically the riders wouldn't follow like that. Millsaps is going to the inside. Oh, Tedesco also. That inside is finally dried up enough to where they can take that right-hander on the inside and get a little bit of drive for the triple.
Jeff, I've got to give a big round of applause to the guys who've worked so hard to get this track ready here tonight, because they've done an excellent job of maintaining this racetrack on a very wet week here in Southern California. And now finally, as we're past the halfway point on what has been a very dry race time, the rain's starting to fall once again here at Angel Stadium. So that could change things a little bit with 8 laps to go, because the track has been excellent, all things considered.
Well, and there was Ivan Tedesco, just really lost traction with the rear tire in the final turn in the rain. Like you said, it's starting to come down, and what's going to make that so difficult is now the good line, the race line, is that shiny, dry line. You can see right here where Ivan Tedesco goes. That shiny line, once the rain hits that, it's going to be like ice. So with 8 laps to go,
well, here's one more thing. Oh, Tedesco stumbles coming out of that corner, and Millsaps retakes third. And Jeff, here's one other thing about that. As you see the raindrops pelting the surface here in Anaheim, you saw that mud tire that Aaron showed. Some of the guys might have gambled a little bit, thinking the track was maybe going to stay drier all the way through the main event, and now all of a sudden the rain coming down as hard as we've seen it all day here in Anaheim. And you mix in the fact that we've got heavy traffic for James Stewart, changing track conditions. This thing is far from done. And let me throw one more thing out at you. Today is the 12th time James Stewart has started here in Anaheim. He's crashed 5 times here in Anaheim. Out of those 11 previous starts, he's also won here 5 times out of those 11 previous starts. You never know what's going to happen with James. If he stays upright, chances are pretty good he's going to win. Yeah, well, but on a night like tonight, you never know.
Yeah, and the track, as you can see, the rain on our screen in HD is starting to come down, and what's going to be difficult for James Stewart is going to be to dial it back some. You notice his mechanic rode smooth on the board. You can see down this main line, because Stewart had the track dialed, running a 59.6. Actually, Chad Reed ran a 59.4, was his best lap. Chad Reed absolutely on the gas right now, but is for James Stewart through these very treacherous, tricky rhythm sections, is to know when the traction has gone away and when, with 5.5 laps to go, when it's time that I can pull back a little bit.
Stewart's best season here in Anaheim was back in 2007 when he swept all 3 rounds here at Angel Stadium.
And it only takes an instance to go into a turn here where the berms are hard packed on the top. You go and grab a little bit too much front brake, wash the front wheel out. So he's going to be very careful here.
Look at the rain coming down, Jeff. And we actually talked about the fact that he crashed here back in 2005 in a very muddy race. And boy, can you see that rain coming down as we wait for Chad Reed. There he is in that #1 Rockstar Makita Suzuki, working his way around Heath Moss.
He's not giving up. Chad Reed is on the gas still, but just a horrible lap that time around. Caught so much traffic. We just mentioned how he set the fastest lap of the night, a 59.4. That time around, Ralph, 104.8. Horrible lap for Chad Reed.
4 seconds slower than James Stewart.
Yeah, so that's a huge gap there that is really going to be a setback.
What a night it has been for Chad Reed. 2-time champ, the reigning champ, struggled when the gate dropped, and that set the tone for this main for him.
It did, and look, out of the gate, Chad Reed just way back at the back. Manages to get through. Makes this pass on Millsaps. In traffic with all the downed riders everywhere.
Fortunately, before those yellow flags.
Yeah, but this is the pass on Josh Grant. This is for second. I mean, just incredible rides by Chad Reed, but it's still second